So first you want to turn the water off to the house and then open this up and let any remaining water come out. And then take a 7/64 Allen and take out the screw that holds on this handle. It's up in there, it looks like this. And the handle comes off. And then remove this screw. Then you take this off. And then pull this off. Pull this out. And then here you want to pop this pin up. And then you want to pull this whole thing out. So I'm going to wedge something right in there between the plastic and the metal. Give it a little wiggle and pull and slide this out. So I ended up putting the screw back in without the black plastic piece. And taking something like, I didn't put it in all the way. Taking something like this. Just wrapping it around the screw head. And then giving it a decent yank. Kind of like a jerking, pulling motion to get this to start to separate over here. So here's the cartridge that comes out. So I'm going to pop off this black plastic piece, clean that up. You can see there's a lot of residue on there. And the one on the opposite side. So it was in there this way with the HC towards the top. So this is basically the left side. Notice where the hole is, and then the right side, it's lined up like that. So I'll pull those off and clean them. Then you want to drive this center portion in, like that. So it starts to stick out on this side. And mine was really stuck in there. So if you take like an adjustable wrench, there's a flat face on this brass piece, flat faces. You can see them there. So you can put that on there and kind of twist it back and forth like this while you're pushing a bit, and eventually it should pop out. So you should end up with these two pieces. You're going to pull off that O-ring there and replace it with a new one. And you can kind of clean this up while you're doing it. Clean inside this barrel. Clean where the O-ring was. And then here's the center part. And on this, I'm going to replace 1, 2, 3 O-rings that are all the same size. I'm going to leave this guy just because I don't have the size for that replacement. But I'll pull these other 3, clean this all off, and then put on new ones. So then here are the 3 O-rings that came off of this. Here's the one that came off of here. To get them off, I just kind of used a pick. Just lift under them and pull them off. And then I used a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, to kind of clean out the channel and kind of wipe this down. So it looks pretty good right now. And the inside of this too, I cleaned that out. And then we'll just put on 3 new O-rings and 1 here. I'm not going to change that one, but it's probably a good idea to. I just don't have that size right now. And the new O-rings, the one that goes here, the bigger one, is a number 14. So it's going to be 15 16ths, 3/4, and 3 32nds. And then the 3 here are going to be number 10s. So these are, there you go, 11 16ths, half, and 3 32nds. And I'll just put on a little bit of silicone grease on the O-ring, rub it around a little bit, and then slide it in place. All right, so once you have the new O-rings on here and here, then you can just slide this back in. And when you do this, you're going to find the O-rings are going to need to be kind of tucked under some of the edges that they're going to encounter with the plastic. And if you don't tuck them and you just keep pushing it down and in, it'll kind of clip off the very top of the O-ring. You get like little tops of the O-rings clipped off. So this is actually from when I pulled it out. The old ones got clipped off a little bit, but I don't care because I was getting rid of them. So what you want to do is you want to watch any edge where the O-ring is going in, and if it's at all sticking up or binding at all, you want to use something to push it down and push it in. I'm going to use like just the back side of this, just to kind of press against them. But you want to watch this edge, and then as you progress and as you get further in here, you want to watch any other openings, like here, when any of the 3 O-rings get to this point, if they're popping it up at all, stick something in there and kind of press them down in there as you push it down further so they don't get clipped off. You got to watch this hole when they approach this, and this hole up here. But if you just go slow and just kind of press them in and tuck them in as they're going, it should work out okay. So here I've gotten it this far in, and I'm at a point here where this guy needs to get tucked in. So I can push it a little bit further, and then right away I'm going to have to tuck this guy in too. Otherwise, you can maybe see that's going to get clipped off there too. So I'll just kind of press it in as I'm going. It should be okay. Then you put these pieces back on the sides, and we're going to slide it back in to the wall. And you want the HC up, and you want this flat side up. But there's 2 flat sides, and I can't remember which one should go up. So I'm either going to put it in correct or upside down. Right now I have it, I think this is right. There's when it's turned this particular way, in there you have kind of a partial opening here. So I'll try this. Otherwise, just spin the copper piece or the brass piece so the opposite flat face is up. I almost forgot. It's probably a good idea to clean this out too with a toothbrush or something. Alright, then this goes in. And then you lock it in place with the clip. And then this goes on. Plastic piece, or this is 2 pieces, but these should line up on the top if they came apart, those ridges. And then this guy, and then you put this screw in, then you just put the handle back on with that bolt with the Allen. And then you can turn your water on, which I just did, and try it out. It should be really nice and easy to turn. So I also, the orientation I had in there for the brass piece and the plastic piece was correct. So good luck.